Rams. A feat so rare it's only been done once in the majors and once in college baseball. I'm Boomer Esiason.
CBS Sports Radio.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-585-8282. 800-585-8282. That's 800-585-8282.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5
The Game.
Winter is here, and is your old gas furnace just not keeping up with winter this year? Don't worry. 888 Heating and Air has got you taken care of. Give them a phone call today, 803-677-1500. You need to tell them Bill Gunner sent you. You can get a free estimate and discounts on qualifying furnace systems. That's right, 803-677-1500. Call 888 Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Heath here with the mortgage guru, Jacob Crowder from First Palmetto Bank. And if the new year has you building or buying a new home, you need a guru in this market. First Palmetto Bank is owned and operated here in the Midlands, and Jacob has local decision makers, which means quick and precise processing and underwriting. If you're looking to make a move, give Jacob a call, 803-719-1005, or email him at jcrowder@firstpalmetto.com.
Thanks, Heath. Interest rates have stabilized. The local housing market also has stabilized. Now is a good time to buy a house. At First Palmetto, we have products that help homebuyers keep payments down. Also, if you are considering building your future home, please ask me about our no-nonsense construction loans. The new year brings change, and if I can help you, please give me a call, 803-719-1005.
So to follow up, rates in the housing market are stable, which makes now a good time to buy.
I'd say that sums it up.
Great. Call Jacob Crowder today, 803-719-1005.
My NMLS number is 198432. First Palmetto Bank is a member of FDIC and any clause amendment.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This ad is paid for by the settlement specialists. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is one of the most common cancers in the United States. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and were regularly exposed to Roundup weed killer, you could be entitled to cash compensation. Bayer, the owner of Roundup, will pay more than $10 billion to cancer victims of weed killer Roundup. Call our weed killer cancer hotline now to see if you're entitled to cash compensation. Roundup has been one of the most commonly used herbicides in the U.S. If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and were exposed to Roundup, call now. Our team is here to fight for everyday people and to get you the compensation you may deserve. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and were regularly exposed to Roundup weed killer, even if the loved one has passed away, call 800-778-9713 now to see if you are entitled to compensation. But hurry. Time is limited. Call 800-778-9713. 800-778-9713.
Makes a little sports analysis, pop culture, and great interviews. And you've got the Rich Eisen Show podcast.
One of the voices of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Charlie Steiner. Carl Lewis singing the national anthem 30 years ago. Your coverage of it leading to one of the greatest giggle fits of all time.
It was like being in the back row when a substitute teacher was in, and you're holding it in, and you're holding it in until you can't, and 2 minutes later, you're in the principal's office.
The Rich Eisen Show podcast, wherever you listen.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence, knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. It's the Garnet Trust Hour
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Even better than I was the last time, baby. Ooh, 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 ooh.
We back.
I'm good. Ooh, yeah, I'm good.
Back in on the Garnet Trust Hour here on 107.5 The Game. Tyler and Chris along with you. We do have an update. Adam Luckhurst from the men's soccer team is set to join us. He is making his way over here from the soccer facility, so hopefully he'll be with us soon and he can hang out through the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour as we go into the 11 o'clock hour as well. So all good. He'll be with us, sounds like shortly.
Yep, he'll be here shortly. Wrapped up practice with Coach Annan just a few minutes ago, and so he's going to get all situated and get over here. So, I appreciate him being flexible. Appreciate the listeners being flexible. When you got these athletes have crazy schedules.
Which is why I like to ask every single one that comes in here, like, just take us through a day in your life, because every sport is unique, and when they practice, what time of year they're doing certain things, and all the requirements that go into being a student athlete that a lot of people may not think about.
Yeah, there's really not any off season, at least not with any of the athletes we've chatted with. I know when we had Rachel Glenn in here from track and field, we kind of asked her, hey, what's up with your downtime? And she doesn't really leave any,
it's downtime.
In theory, you can have some, but a lot of these athletes, even if they're, able to go home for a little while, or even if you have a break from, the required team activities, they're still, having to watch their nutrition, and they're working out on their own and studying and studying their playbook or whatever they're supposed to be doing on and off the field. So it's a lot. And we certainly don't want to take away from any of the team activities either. So he'll be over here shortly, we hope. But Tyler, until then, I know one of the discussion items, I want to get your take on this.
Sure.
So UCF Clemson, I know you and Kendall talked about this last hour. UCF trolled Clemson over the weekend. That's the only way you can put it. John Rice Plumlee, who actually former quarterback at Ole Miss, who's transferred to UCF, I think put the video up on TikTok, and they got into Memorial Stadium at Clemson and they ran down the hill. They had a little Dabo reenactment.
Right.
What were your thoughts on that?
I thought it's hilarious.
Me too.
My first thought was, how did they get in there? I don't know, did they jump the fence? Was it wide open? I've never been up to Memorial Stadium. I don't know how it's laid out. I mentioned one of our listeners texted in yesterday. Apparently they're doing construction up there to where it's just wide open. You can just walk in. I imagine they've probably changed the policy on that by now. But no, I mean, if you can take advantage of that, you sweep them on their home field. Why not?
Absolutely. That's what I thought about it. Now, if you go to Memorial Stadium, it's kind of, the one side of it is basically kind of ground level. I guess you could say it kind of goes downhill a little bit. And then where the rock and the hill is ground level. So there's just like a side. You can go right up outside of it, outside of the gates. So must have been that they had the gates open or something of that nature. But I thought it was funny. I'm sure there were some class police on social media and things like that did not like it. But I thought it was funny.
The unfortunate part about the way the series works out this weekend for South Carolina is the last game will be here at Founders Park. The series starts on Friday in Clemson. They'll play the game in Greenville on Saturday. How perfect would it have been if South Carolina could have swept this weekend and done the same thing on Sunday?
Recreation.
Unfortunately, and again, I'm sure they've stepped up their police presence or security or whatever it may be on that end of the stadiums where that probably wouldn't be possible. But, dang, that would have been cool to see.
It's only 2 hours. You can drive back up there and recreate it. Now, there are plenty of hills on campus. You're talking about going around campus and acquainting yourself with it, Tyler. If you go down kind of near, take Green Street and go back like you're going towards 5 Points, there are several hills down back towards Blossom Street.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if you put a little, you could put some AstroTurf down the hill, and then you could create like a little fake rock.
Yeah, get somebody to put a rock on a table or something like that.
Yeah, a little stand with a rock.
You could have fun with it.
I think they should do it. That would go viral.
Is it a requirement for an SEC campus to just have a ton of hills? This place, I don't know how much you've walked Georgia's campus. There's a lot of hills there too. Mm-hmm. It just seems like if you're in the SEC, you got to have a hilly campus for some reason.
I think the craziest one was Arkansas. Have you ever been there?
I have not.
So we went there this past year for the game. Hills on hills.
Oof.
I mean, it was absolutely wild. They also, you go down this you're up and down going to the stadium. And when you get there, the side that we went in on is another one where you go in the gate and you walk through and you're looking down at the field. You're basically like in the lower bowl at that point.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. But yeah, super hilly campus. We got around campus a lot, just riding around, walking around, whatever it may have been. And it was a nice campus. I mean, I'd never been out there, but lots of hills. Good observation.
Yeah.
Lots of hills on SEC campuses.
I'll have to make my way around the conference and tackle all these hills at some point. Good way to stay in shape, I guess.
It is. What one that makes a lot of people mad, and I feel like it's more than like the hill thing or whatever. Clemson's coach, by the way, did not take kindly.
Oh, of course not.
He what was his quote? I think he said that it was difficult to lose, especially because the other team was mouthy.
It's sports. It's baseball at that.
The funny thing is, Eric Bakich was, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was an assistant. He was a Leggett assistant, right? At Clemson. He was.
Let me check on that.
Or maybe he was with Tim Corbin. Vanderbilt, the Vandy boys, they always have some antics.
Right.
On the field. And so, but one that makes people pretty mad is the whole like dancing on the logo, dancing at midfield, planting the flag at midfield.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that, but that one like makes people almost irrational.
Well, I mean, you're kind of, I guess, defacing the logo of said university when you're doing that.
Yeah.
I guess it's more of a pride thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I guess to a degree, Clemson runs down the hill. That's their thing, where they call it the most exciting 25 seconds in college football or something like that. Like that's their own unique thing. And I guess they don't like it seeing it made a mockery of, I guess if, they did Sandstorm or something after beating South Carolina, maybe that'd kind of be the same thing.
Yeah. Or the 2001.
Yeah.
Or like if you got in a, whatever, I don't know what you call that thing, the box that Cocky's in.
Yeah. And what's their Tiger's name? Does it have a name?
Doesn't it have half on the?
Yeah.
Doesn't it have the jersey number?
Yeah, I think
half
so.
a tiger. I honestly don't know what the Tiger's name. Does it have a name?
The only Tiger I can think of with a name is Mike the Tiger at LSU.
He's real though.
He is real.
Very scary.
Yeah, that's the thing. Come on, Clemson, get a live tiger. What's wrong with you? But no, I can't think of his name. He does have the half. I don't know what the story behind that is.
I don't either. We're gonna need. I know there are some Clemson fans that listen to the program and
reluctantly
enjoy it sometimes. Yeah, now they're not very happy with us right now. But weigh in if you can give us Clemson's mascot's name, or if you have takes on the UCF Clemson episode, or what you would do. 803-444-6100 is the Firehouse Subs text line. Hit us up, Tyler. What would you do if you beat an opponent? Would you engage in that behavior?
If I found a way to do it, if I had and again, this isn't graffitiing a side of a building or something like that. You're not doing anything criminal.
No property damage.
Yeah, you're running down a hill. Maybe mild trespassing at this point. But if you can do it without causing legal or physical harm, why not? It's sports. Come on.
Yeah. Is there anything that's too far? Sure there is. I can't think of it.
Yeah, probably. Trying to think.
Is flag planting too far for you?
Not really. Of course, I've never seen it done to a team that I care about, I guess.
Yeah.
So I may feel differently because Baker Mayfield did it at Ohio State in the middle of the horseshoe. So, of course, Ohio State fans are up in arms about it. So, again, maybe it feels like a personal thing. I could understand it. I don't, again, you're planting a flag in the ground. You're not killing anybybody here.
Yeah.
It's not a huge deal for me.
I think it's fair game. I mean, we've seen other teams. I mean, I remember Clemson, for instance, their football program did it. I mean, they came around before the game. They'll go to the student section where the hedges are, the bushes, and get right up against the hedges. And, of course, there's students just on the other side, down in the student section, and they're all jawing back and forth to each other. I mean, same thing to me.
Right.
I don't see the big deal about it.
We'll head into a break here. I think we might have the name of the Clemson mascot with that on the other side. You're listening to the Garnet Trust Hour. Tyler and Chris along with you. Guest Adam Luckhurst from the men's soccer team will be with us shortly here on 107.5 The Game.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5
The Game.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
Attention. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to Instagram and has struggled with eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Text TEEN to 323232 for more information. Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower suggest Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms are highly addictive and cause eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation, but have done little to stop it. If your family has been impacted by Instagram addiction, you could be eligible for significant compensation. Text TEEN to 323232 if you'd like to discuss a lawsuit. Text TEEN to 323232 or call 800-768-4026 and speak with an attorney.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Motley Rice attorney Donald A. Migliore is responsible for this ad. Motley Rice LLC is headquartered at 28 Bridgeside Boulevard, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina 29464.
And Doug. Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
What do you mean he went searching for fresher powder? We have full classes today.
Instructor down at Vesper Ski School.
Toward each other to snowplow, honey, not away.
She needs more ski instructors to slalom through the day-to-day.
Pizza? Fries? Whoa, Braley, no! Pizza!
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the gutter man.
The Gutterman offers a variety of guards for your gutter. Protect your biggest investment. Call the guys in the powder blue trucks. Locally owned and operated for 46 years. Call 791-7147. That's 791-7147.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the gutter man.
Are you looking for a lasting gift of jewelry for someone special? Hey, this is Scott for Traditions Fine Jewelers with some gift-giving ideas that are sure to please. Get a 1-carat bracelet in sterling silver or a 1/2-carat total weight diamond earrings in gold for just $3.99. Or how about a 7 or 8-inch sterling silver charm bracelet with a $10 coupon towards your first charms? At Traditions, we have over 100 sterling silver earrings for less than $25. Traditions Fine Jewelers, 5134 Sunset Boulevard or at Sand Hills. Traditions Fine Jewelers, your gift-giving headquarters.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
It looks like your luggage is over 50 pounds. Is there anything you can take out?
Oh, yeah. Let me just toss all these $20 bills.
Great. Let me grab you a trash can.
Stop. Instead of throwing money away, move some clothes into a carry-on. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text QUALITY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text QUALITY to 200-300 right now. Text the word QUALITY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text QUALITY to 200-300.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
Back on the Garnet Trust Hour, 107.5 The Game. Tyler and Chris, along with you, Adam Luckhurst from the men's soccer team, on his way as we speak. He'll be joining us shortly. Appreciate y'all weighing in on the Firehouse Subs text line, 803-404-6100. Got a little bit of help in the geography department here, as a nameless texter says, outside of Auburn, LSU, and Texas A&M, I believe every SEC team is situated on or above the historical fall line, which means that most SEC teams should be in the Piedmont or Hills region of the southern states, which would create hills all over campus.
Man.
So took us to school on
How
that
about that? Okay, so LSU, Texas A&M, and Auburn?
He said also excluding all Florida schools, so I guess that would put Florida in there as well.
Okay.
I've never been to Florida, so I don't know. I mean, I've been to the state of Florida. I've never been to Gainesville, but it's not the most. Florida's not the hilliest state in the U.S.
No. Our texters always come through on the Firehouse Subs text line, although we still have not heard the name of Clemson's mascot.
So I looked this up.
Okay.
So there are actually two. You have the Tiger, who wears the 0 jersey.
Okay.
And then you have the Cub, who wears the half jersey.
So that's the reason for the half.
So it is two different mascots.
It's a mom and a Cub Tiger.
I assume so. And the only thing I can find for the big one is the Tiger. I don't have a name on it, just the Tiger.
Okay. Very creative.
Which I guess if you're only watching games on TV, it might confuse you, because I guess maybe they don't always get shown in the same shot at the same time. Because like you, I assume that the one with the half was just their regular mascot, and maybe switch jerseys every now and then. But apparently there's two different ones.
Adam Luckhurst is just walking in.
Fantastic.
Right now.
All right.
Let me get him set up, Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll jump back into the Firehouse Subs text line and see what you guys are weighing in on. Sam weighs in talking about disrespecting other teams, talking about what happened with UCF and Clemson, with UCF running down their hill. He also brings up cleaning up the midfield logo, which kind of, we're talking about planting the flag like Baker Mayfield did on the Ohio State logo. Cleaning the midfield logo can fall into that same category. I specifically remember a Georgia game years and years ago against Vanderbilt where Georgia won late or something like that, and the guys were dancing on the Vanderbilt V, and Coach Rick came out there and yelled at them and shoved a couple of them out of the way because they were, I guess, quote-unquote, disrespecting the midfield logo.
We're joined now by Adam Luckhurst from Gamecock Men's Soccer. Hey, appreciate you making time, Adam.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, sure thing. Know you're coming back from practice right now, and did you get caught by a train?
Nah, but I usually do.
Doing better than Nate Atkins.
No, yeah, I got caught by one this morning though on my way to practice. So I mean, that counts.
That does count.
Yeah.
That's a rite of passage in Columbia.
Nate Atkins from the football team came in and did a show with us a while back, the first Garnet Trust Hour actually,
Yes.
and he didn't have practice. He literally just got caught by two trains, and so he was late. How was practice this morning?
It was good. It was a hot one though.
It was a hot. Yeah, it's getting there.
Back out. Yeah, got to get used to it.
Yeah, it's starting to definitely get humid. I've been whining about the cold a lot, and so now that has shifted, and now I'm going to whine about the humidity.
So that's actually a good question. You know, we think of like the springtime, the 70-ish degree weather as like perfect baseball weather. When you get into the fall, it starts to cool off into like the high 60s is perfect football weather. What, in your opinion, is perfect soccer weather?
I love it when it's raining.
Like raining?
Rainy. Yeah. I think
a little bit of mud?
Yeah.
Slide around a little bit?
Slide tackles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, so Adam, before we get into some soccer, we're jumping you right in. No introduction. You just coming right on in on the hot seat. So we want to do a little bit of getting to know you before we dive into actual soccer. A little off the field stuff. First of all, tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from and how you got to South Carolina, because I know you transferred here after Davidson, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your background.
So I'm from Santa Barbara, California, and kind of the reason I ended up at Davidson was because I wanted to go to that like academic institution, and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. So I ended up going there for a year. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't like the sports I was looking for. And then that's why, I had a good first year, and that gave me the opportunity to enter the transfer portal and have schools like South Carolina reach out to me. And when a school like South Carolina reaches out, and just like the facilities for soccer and everything, and Tony coming in as the coach, it's basically it's a win-win everywhere. So I couldn't turn it down.
Well, we're definitely going to have to get some Tony Annan stories out of you while you're here.
Plenty, yes. It sounds like you have some. All right, well, we'll get there. But first, all right, off the field, aside from soccer, any other sports growing up that you played?
I played football my whole life. I wasn't going to play soccer in college. I was going to go the football route.
Okay, what position?
I was a kicker and a free safety, but I was going to kick. My brother played football here for a little.
I knew I recognized the last name.
Yeah.
I think I even probably read some stuff about you. Like, did you do some of the kicking camps and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like,
so I committed to play football and then decommitted my junior year to play soccer. So
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So Jack
played at ASU.
And then
my little brother plays at Cal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is your brother a kicker too?
Yeah.
Man.
And then my dad, obviously.
Got it going on with the kickers.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were aware of him?
It's just now hitting me. I was like, oh yeah, yeah. And then I didn't even make the connection. Seriously, how did I not know that? With your brother kicking here too. Are you better at soccer than kicking at football? You think? Pretty close.
Now, yeah. But
the development.
The thing is, in high school, it's so tough because it was my brother, me, all the same high school. So I had 1 year where I was really kicking,
right?
And then my little brother only had a year after, or 2 years after me, where he was kicking. So it was just
the Colquitts at Tennessee.
I was gonna say the Aguayos down at Florida State.
Yeah, that's
one after another.
Yeah, just keep churning them out. You're like, where are these guys coming from? Favorite foods?
A good burger. Yeah.
Like James Hicks. Yeah, baseball. He also had the good. Have you heard? I'm sure you weren't listening that day because you're probably practicing. But James Hicks from the baseball team, barbecue chips on a burger.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, you're for it?
100%. I'm there for it.
That's like you're good. Like you actively do it, or you're like as a changer.
If they're there, it'll happen.
We'll keep getting to know Adam as he hangs out with us here on the Garnet Trust Hour. Do have to run into a break really quick. We'll be right back. Garnet Trust Hour. Tyler and Chris. Wes is not here today. Got so used to saying that. And Adam Luckhurst from the men's soccer team here on 107.5 The Game.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5
The Game.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the gutter man.
The Guttermen have been providing top-notch service throughout the Midlands for over 47 years, building their business on relationships, not gimmicks. And you can call them locally, not a 1-800 number. Call them today at 791-7147 and look for the guys in the powder blue trucks.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the gutter man.
Locally owned Atlantic Windows and Doors has been making Columbia area homes more comfortable, attractive, weather-tight, and energy efficient for over 35 years. How? By distributing products from the best window and door manufacturers in the country. These products give you the best looks, the best quality, and the best value, all based on your specific needs. And everything is professionally installed by their dedicated and experienced employees, not subcontractors. Atlantic Windows and Doors. Visit them online at awdsc.com. Are you new to the job market and looking for great pay and a great atmosphere to work? Traditions Fine Jewelers had a record-breaking year last year. As a result, Traditions Fine Jewelers is looking for additional people to join their staff. Traditions Fine Jewelers is now adding sales associates to their jewelry and their collegiate staff, with management opportunities possible in the future. Traditions is also adding staff to their web department. Pay is $13 to $20 depending on experience, and Traditions hours are 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday. Traditions Fine Jewelers offers PTO and holiday pay as well as commission. Full and part-time slots available with signing bonuses of $500 to $1,500 being offered. Experience is preferred but not necessary. Come by 5134 Sunset Boulevard in Lexington, Sandhills in the Northeast, or call or text 803-622-4013 and set up an appointment. Come by Traditions Fine Jewelers today. Your new career could be waiting on you to take the first step.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. This ad is paid for by the settlement specialists. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is one of the most common cancers in the United States. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and were regularly exposed to Roundup weed killer, you could be entitled to cash compensation. Bayer, the owner of Roundup, will pay more than $10 billion to cancer victims of weed killer Roundup. Call our weed killer cancer hotline now to see if you're entitled to cash compensation. Roundup has been one of the most commonly used herbicides in the U.S. If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and were exposed to Roundup, call now. Our team is here to fight for everyday people and to get you the compensation you may deserve. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and were regularly exposed to Roundup weed killer, even if the loved one has passed away, call 800-778-9713 now to see if you are entitled to compensation. But hurry. Time is limited. Call 800-778-9713. 800-778-9713.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. It's the Garnet Trust Hour
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Back in on the Garnet Trust Hour here on 107.5 The Game. Tyler and Chris along with you. Special guest today, Adam Luckhurst from the Gamecock men's soccer team joining us. Talked about food going into the break, talking about you like a good burger. We talked about the barbecue chips on the burger, carry over from our conversation with James Hicks last week. This always comes up when we talk to people in the Garnet Trust Hour. Do you cook yourself? Anything you're good at cooking?
Good.
There we go.
Yeah. So this year, one of our facilities where all the foods gets cooked, it flooded early on. So we had to kind of fend for ourselves. So they gave us like a stipend. So we've been cooking at home, most of the team. And my brother cooks a lot, and I live with him.
What do you like to cook?
Salmon, chicken.
Okay, the healthy stuff.
Eggs, yeah. I think I got to keep it healthy.
Man, you always make me feel bad. Although, who had the chicken and then just rice with queso on top of it? Was that also James Hicks? Can't remember who that was.
I think it might have been. I know Taylor was telling us about the TikTok account her and her athlete have.
Taylor Jacobson.
Food for athletes.
Yeah.
I think they were doing some kind of chicken thing on there.
Yeah, and then Ayana from the women's tennis team, big cooker and baker. Making a Yule log and all sorts of things.
Yeah, and I guess it's a good thing you guys obviously work with nutritionists, but none of y'all have come in here and said like, yeah, fried chicken or like something super greasy and bad for you. So good on y'all.
Yeah, definitely good on y'all. You're just telling us, tell me before we came back from break, Adam, about y'all's schedule so far. So y'all actually played some exhibitions against a couple pro teams. Tell us a little bit about that because y'all got some pretty good results out of it.
No, for sure. I mean, stepping into the games, it's always just intimidating because you're playing against older guys and it's always tough. But I mean, I think we fend for ourselves, and I mean, especially a lot of our younger guys stepping up. And I mean, tying the Charlotte team 2-2 or Crown League FC. I mean, 2-2 was huge for us. Just getting points on the board and then holding off Charleston Battery, who's one of the better teams in the USL Championship, is another big step for us. And I mean, coming into our next few games against college teams, we hope to jump off that. I mean, we should win the next 3, and I mean that'll propel us into the next season. So
another thing you were telling me is that you being from Santa Barbara. First of all, how different is Santa Barbara before we get more into soccer than here? I haven't been to Santa Barbara. Like way different.
Oh yeah, no, it's night and day. I mean,
what's so different?
The people. Just the people over here are so much nicer.
In a good. Oh really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, you hear that about. I'm gonna be careful. We got listeners from all over. I mean, you hear that about certain places in the United States that may have people that are not as quite, don't have as much Southern charm.
Yeah.
But I didn't know California.
I mean, it depends on where you are. I think LA is just so fast paced and out here, it's kind of, I mean, I'm just not used to it. Like even people holding the door open for me. It's like right when I got here, I was like, dang, this is pretty cool.
The door opening, huge step. All right, so your head coach Tony Annan got here to South Carolina, had a really interesting resume, really interesting hire, and I think one thing that you and I agree on is like the soccer program at South Carolina has a lot of potential, right? And so, why do you think that is? First of all, that I know you believe in this place. One reason you're so interested in transferring here, but what is it about South Carolina that makes it so attractive?
I think the main thing for me was just the sports culture as a whole. I mean, you go to a football game, obviously it's going to be crazy, but like even our games, to have fans that are dedicated to come out at week in and week out, it's pretty cool. And I mean, averaging over 3,000 fans a game and even having like 6,000 for a Clemson game and just big numbers all throughout the year. I mean, they like back you, and no matter where you go, like people recognize you, and it's just pretty cool to like have those people behind you. And I feel like Gamecock Nation's like probably one of the most dedicated fan bases in the country, if you really look at it. So, I mean, I just think that's like a huge part of it.
You mentioned too that there are players even out in California. I mean, you took a different route to get here because you were at Davidson, transferred, but there are players you said in California who look across the coast at South Carolina and are interested in playing here. Is that right?
Yeah. I just think soccer out here, you got Clemson, you got South Carolina, you have those teams up north, Syracuse. Those are right now the best teams in the nation. And I mean, everyone back home where I'm from, I mean, wants to play at the highest level, whether it be playing in the MLS or going in the college route. And I think coming over here is the best way.
Tell us about Tony and what makes him such a good coach.
I mean, he gets the best out of his players, and I think that's the main thing. When I came in, I wasn't used to that. My coach at Davidson was more laid back, and he never really pushed me. And when I came here, it was immediate. He wants the best out of me no matter how. Like, he's going to try to get the best out of me no matter what. And it was tough for me at first because I wasn't used to, obviously, his style of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's been the best thing for me, and I've grown so much under him.
What part of your game is growing the most? Well, first of all, let's back up. So we're going to have a lot of listeners. We're going to have some who love soccer. We're going to have some that are agnostic. We're going to have some who straight up don't like it. You know what I mean? You know how there are those people. But tell us about what your role is on the team, positionally. I mean, do the whole explain it to me like I'm five type of thing for the audience.
So I play striker, so I'm the furthest one up the field.
Yep.
I'm the guy who scores goals and sets up plays to get forward. I mean, I work to win it back, but that's not really my job. My job is to get in front of the goal and score.
Yep. Yeah. So what parts of your game have grown the most under Tony specifically since you got here?
I mean, he's just simplified my game as a whole. I think my freshman year at Davidson, I was trying to do everything. And because I was on a team like Davidson, I kind of was able to.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming to South Carolina, the time on the ball is less. I mean, the opponents are better. So you kind of have to adapt your game. And I think he did that by just making me simplify everything I do and then finishing just in front of goal, bearing my chances. And I think, yeah.
And you and Coach Ann both got here around the same time, am I correct? So there wasn't, you having to come in and learn the new system while everybody else was already adapted to it. It was kind of both of you coming in at the same time, learning what he's doing at the same time as everybody else.
Exactly. When he got hired, I think it was 3 weeks later that I got recruited here.
Okay.
So I was his first recruit, and then one more kid, Harrison, from England. So me and him were his first two recruits.
Gotcha. How much do you run during a typical practice?
A lot. Yeah. I mean, in games it's more, but
you can't say it in kilometers because I don't know. I can't translate those still. I'm 36 years old, but how many miles do you think you run
in practice?
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Around.
Jeez.
But I mean, games it's more. I mean,
yeah.
It's crazy. Just
lots of running.
Numbers, yeah.
Do you run more than say one of your backs in a game?
Sprinting wise, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they cover
total ground covered.
I think it's close to the same.
Okay.
It's close to the same, but yeah.
You're definitely getting on it a little bit more.
I mean, that's kind of my game though. That's kind of what I do.
What can you put down in a 40?
I mean, 2 years ago it'd probably be closer to like a 4.8. Now I think it'd be 4.6 around there.
Is that like average for a striker of or above? Or
I'm not the fastest guy, but
yeah,
I mean, I can.
4.6 is hauling. That's what people don't realize.
I know I can haul, but there's kids that can haul. Like in some kids in soccer, even center backs, you're just like, dang.
Yeah.
And like I mean Harrison and there's a kid named John Eskin on our team where those boys can haul, and it's pretty cool to watch.
So like significantly faster than even you
It's
think?
just you can't even tell them, and they're by you. It's like that burst that they have. It's why that's what I wish I had, but I'm working on it.
No, 4.6. That's what people don't get. Like that is absolutely hauling.
Oh,
for like an average, you know what I mean? Like if an average person saw a 4.6, they'd be like, "That's the fastest person I've ever seen."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's super fast.
Didn't like Mahomes only run like a 4.8 at his combine or something like that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's some high profile quarterback only ran like a 4.8. So you're talking about being faster than that.
Well, people, I mean, whether it's soccer players, football players, like NBA athletes with certain measurables that they're putting up now or athletic marks, they've gotten so good. Like nowadays, a guy has to go to the combine, the NFL combine, and run like a 4.2 for you to be impressed.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just like, that's not even scratching. That's like a 0.00001% of people, you know, and like a 4.6 is still a very fast human being.
Right.
No doubt. Adam, are you going to hang out with us a little bit into the next hour?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
Good deal.
Yeah, we'll jump into the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs. Adam Luckhurst from the Gamecock men's soccer team hanging out with Tyler and Chris here on 107.5 The Game.
WNKT-FM, Eastover, Columbia, your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game, a Cumulus media station.
Tired of paying over MSRP for new vehicles? Then come to Herndon Chevrolet and smile. With a great selection of new Chevrolet